Hello, and once again, a very warm welcome back to my dear listeners. This is your host Sharmishta with the third episode of The Skeleton of the Dwarf. Let's pick up from where we left off last. I never went back to that cursed crematorium again, but the wish to learn that forbidden art never really went away. I would seek out other sannyasis and tantrics, but no one wanted to teach me. One day, during my daily travels to forsaken places in search of willing teachers, I came across a tantric. Once again, I put forth my request. I was relieved to see that he didn't shoo me away like the others had done. I told him about the incident at the crematorium and how I had run away. The tantric sat for a while with his eyes boring into me. I began to feel uneasy. Finally, he said, "You can bring life back into the dead." What? But, but how? You know I did not complete my learning. And if I knew this art, then I would be God, isn't it? But you did do something that night, didn't you? The dead body did shake. Yes. That shows you do know something. I was hesitant, but along with it, a sense of excitement was also building up inside me. Could I do it then? The tantric perhaps had read my thoughts. Do it once more. I am sure you will succeed. But how will I do it? Where will I get a dead body from? The tantric thought for a while and then said, Ever heard of breathing life into a skeleton? The mantras you have already been taught. Try those on a skeleton. His words kept revolving in my mind long after I had got back home. The more I thought about it, the more eager I became. Of course, that night the dead body had begun to shake. That meant I could do it again. I would become powerful. I made up my mind. I would carry out this experiment. Yes, the room at the bottom of the stairs would be the ideal place. But where would I get that skeleton? I knew there were hospitals which kept unclaimed bodies in their morgues. I could ask there, but then it would be a risky thing to do. But I had to start somewhere. I began visiting the hospitals one by one, but no one was ready to give me a dead body. After days of unsuccess, I finally came upon a rather dilapidated hospital. And there, one of the boys working in the morgue gave me the address of a trader who sold skeletons. The following morning, I reached the trader's place. At first, he refused to speak to me because he thought I might be a policeman. It took me some effort to explain to him that I was not. I gave him an excuse that I was a medical student looking to study the human structure. He finally took me to a room where he kept the skeletons. But to my dismay, I saw that each skeleton had some or the other flaw in it. Either bones were missing or the skull was cracked. I shook my head. I needed a perfect skeleton. The trader grinned. Wait here, young sir. I'll be back. He went into an adjoining anteroom and returned with a skeleton of a short stature and laid it on the table. I blinked. This? This seems to be a skeleton of a 10-year-old. What am I going to do with this? Shh! Not so loudly, young sir, not so loudly. This is not a 10-year-old. This is a skeleton of a dwarf. I don't show it to everyone. This skeleton was dug up from a graveyard in the Jammu Kashmir area. People of that place say this is the dreaded dwarf Daulat Khan's skeleton. Amazed, I looked down at it. This is a dwarf skeleton? Yes, sir. Look at the finger bones, so unnaturally thick. Look at the skull, it's so large. Look at the rib cage. Well, I wasted no more time. I paid almost double and brought the skeleton home in a bullock cart. The room at the bottom of the stairs would be an ideal place to keep it, I decided. I put down the skeleton and quickly made a bed of straw. While laying the skeleton there, I noticed its eyes. Something was glistening in those hollow depths. I looked closely. The hollows were filled with dirt and soil, and inside were a nest of fireflies. Taking a small twig, I cleared the hollows. But those hollows had not stopped glistening. A deep sense of foreboding began to gnaw at me. I recalled the words of the trader. The dreaded dwarf, Daulat Khan. I hurried out of the room and locked the door behind me. I needed to go to the market and get those things which I had got for the old woman. Tomorrow, I would begin my practice of reviving the dead. The skeleton of the dwarf, a skeleton shrouded in mystery. Who was this dreaded Daulat Khan? Was reviving him going to be a learning for our protagonist? Or was it going to spell doom for him? Let's find out when I return soon with the next episode. Till then,